Hey Billy, Alan Cocker with ABC, hitting coordinator with the Arizona Diamondbacks. We'll run through your swing today and watch it a few times going through. Kind of a sit into the back leg type of load. When we do that, we need to make sure that we get back to center when our foot gets down. We don't want to leave that weight on the back leg, and we also don't want to push forward and come up in that swing. So that's going to take away from our ability to hit through the baseball. And I think this particular pitch is a pitch that's probably middle away. This is going to be when we get all of our weight on that back leg and we push forward and come up. The pitch outer half, outer third is going to be the toughest pitch to hit and stay on and hit through. Obviously, any type of breaking ball is going to be difficult to stay on, or a changeup. It's going to be difficult to stay on that pitch just because of the barrel travels in and out of the zone very quickly. Okay, so when we load right here, and we're going to take a look now at what I look for into that load. You know, we don't want this back foot. We don't want it to be stacked over this back leg, or this back knee stacked over this back foot. You know, that tells me that the weight is on top of that leg. Really, what we want to have is we want to get the load working to the inside part of this thigh. All right, and by doing that, this knee will stay more inside this back leg. Really, the best way to say it is we want to load into the back leg and not on top of the back leg. When we get everything on top of the back leg, our tendency is to want to spin and not get any weight transfer into the front side, or our tendency is to want to push up and come forward. And I think in your case, I think what we're going to see is the tendency is that we want to push up and come forward, and that's the first thing that I see. If I were to put a line right here on top of your head, when we come forward to the toe touch position, then that head has pushed up probably 4 or 5 inches, and now we're starting to slide a little bit forward. Okay, our power source is the ground, and we use our legs to compress and drive into the ground and transfer weight into the front side. If this were our loaded position right here, this would be pretty good. Okay, you got right here, we have both knees inside the feet. We have equal bend in both knees. The hip line is squared up. The shoulder is squared up. The hands are shoulder height. They're separated over the back foot or back knee. And this head is in a very good attacking position, sitting right over the belt buckle. Okay, but what we do by loading on top of that back leg is we have a tendency to come forward. So now when the foot fully plants, okay, right here, because that push forward and that coming up out of the ground move, what we've done now is we've opened up this stride foot, and this stride foot now is at a 66-degree position. And really, you know, Billy, we don't want to get this stride foot open any more than 45 degrees, okay? So when it lands, you know, our hips aren't going to be starting to open up to the pull side. The hands, they won't drag behind our body quite as much, and that's what allows us to stay on this ball that's outer half of the plate, that's up in the zone. It's a ball that we should hammer and stay into right center on this pitch. So, you know, just this load alone, by loading on top of your back leg and then pushing up and coming forward, it causes us to compensate with that front side and want to open up a little bit too quickly. Okay, what we would want to see in this position right here, if everything were down and ready to go, you know, we would see this stride foot more to 45. And now what we'd want to do is we'd want to transfer the weight that we had loaded up inside here. We'd want to drive this knee and transfer that weight into there. And as that knee would start to drive, this elbow would drop underneath into the slot, and then we would have a clear path to be able to work to the ball in, the ball middle, and the and the ball away with the same amount of bat speed and the same amount of extension through contact. But we continue to work forward, and as we do, we compensate with that front side, which opens up. And now, excuse me, effectively, really, the only pitch that we can handle is a ball that's probably inner half and probably right around thigh high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you back to the position that I'd like to see you get into at load. This is the position when the foot lands and the heel firmly plants into the ground. We're going to load into that back leg right here, okay? And the way we're going to work on this is we're going to set a tee out here on the outer third of the plate. I'm going to set it just off my stride foot, maybe slightly inside. I'm going to put a ball on it. I'm going to make sure that I'm in this position, and if I'm in a cage, I want to be able to drive through this ball, get full extension, and hit line drives to the right side of the cage. If this is a drill that you have the opportunity to do on the field, this would be a ball that you would hit on a line through the second baseman, maybe even into right center field. If this ball comes off and we are topping this ball and hitting ground balls to the shortstop side of the cage, or if this is a ball that we're elevating and hitting into the top of the cage, then basically what's happening is this front side right here is starting to leave too quickly, and then the hands and the barrel of the bat are dragging through the hitting zone, and we're not getting the extension through contact that we want, okay? So I'm just going to run it forward, okay? This particular ball looks to be outer half, okay? And the contact point right here, the contact point is you're in a position where you're palm up, palm down. Your head and eyes are down on the ball. However, the front side is going to bring the barrel of that bat across your body too quickly to be able to get through this ball and stay through this ball and drive it where it should be pitched. You can see your hands finishing across your body pretty quickly, and then I see the ball go up into the net. So that's just basically what we call coming off the ball. And for me, all of that really takes place in this load. And you can see that you stack on that back leg in your setup, and then you go back even further, which means that knee is right over the top of that back foot, and all of the weight is on top of this back leg. And again, the two things that I see most often with this type of load are people, young hitters will sit on that back leg and just spin the back hip through the ball, or they know that I'm on my back leg and I've got to get off my back leg so I can get through this ball. So when we come off of it, we actually push forward and we push up, and then we're coming up out of the power source. This would be an ideal position for you to be in at toe touch right here. We're going to have both knees inside the feet, equal bend in both knees. You're in a good position now with your body to be able to attack all parts of the strike zone, and it's going to give you a much better opportunity to be able to handle anything off speed, okay? And then from here, all we want to do is we want to drive this knee and transfer the weight that you have loaded up inside of here, transfer it to in there. As that knee starts to drive, this elbow will drop underneath, and that now your hands and your elbow and your back hip will all be in alignment. You can go to the ball in and contact it out front. You can go to the ball middle, contact it just off your front foot, just in front of your front foot, and you can go to the ball away and contact it just inside your front foot with the same amount of force and the same amount of lower half drive and the same amount of extension, which is going to give you bat speed and drive through the baseball, okay? Billy, this would be my suggestion. Again, right here is the perfect position to get into your load. And just remember, loading back does not mean load on top of that back leg. Getting back, we want to get into that backside so we've got some energy stored up to be able to drive that into my front side and get good bat release and good extension, good barrel extension through contact in all parts of the zone. All right, bud, this would be my suggestion. I want to thank you for coming to our camp, and good luck.